Hey, 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 hey! It's your girl Sybil, and we are here for another episode of The Tea with Mill Spouse Conversations. And hey, yo, this is going to be a fun conversation indeed. Yes, yes. We're going to talk about to thrift or not to thrift. That is the question. Yeah, we need to figure out what we buying at thrift stores. And I want to know some of the crazy things that you have seen at thrift stores. But we also have a special guest. We have our spotlight sponsor. But hold on, I'll tell you all about her in a moment. Because first, I want to go ahead and give a special thanks to our Convolicious sponsor, USAA, for year number 3 of supporting what we do here at Mill Spouse Conversations. And in case you don't know what we do here at Mill Spouse Conversations, we inspire and empower one conversation at a time, bringing real and relatable conversations about life to you. That's what we do.
Hey.
You weren't expecting that, were you?
No, I wasn't. I wasn't expecting to be up that quick.
I'm like, you know. You got to be on your toes with me, girlfriend. You know
For
that.
sure.
You know that. So, hey, for all of our audience members, say hi, click that share button, tell us if you thrift or not. Now, because Grace brought this topic up, tell us about your thrifting.
I thrift. I thrift a lot. I thrifted before I had kids, especially now that I have kids. I thrift for my house, clothes, most things. It's just cheaper, and you never know what you're really going to get. I've gotten some cool stuff for my house, like decor wise. So yeah, I'm a thrifter. There's a lot of ways to save there.
You're a thrifter.
For sure.
Julie, are you a thrifter?
I mean, I like to go to thrift stores, I guess. I used to do more. I feel like I used to do it more like when my kids were younger. Like, oh, they need pants. I'm gonna go get $2 pants, not $20 pants, because they're gonna wear out.
Do you buy books at the thrift store? Because Julie, you like to read.
Yeah, that's mostly what I look for these days.
Books. Hello, Pamela. How you doing? Do you thrift? Tell us, Pamela. Do you thrift? Nishita, do you thrift? Why you always act surprised? You always act surprised when I bring you on screen.
Because I'll be surprised.
Because you're not paying attention. You thrift?
Sometimes.
What you thrift for?
Sometimes I thrift because we moved and then we had to drop them big K's down. Drop some bands.
Oh, I was like,
I need some clothes because I didn't pack enough clothes. So then I ran to the thrift store to supplement my wardrobe.
So y'all supplement wardrobes and buy things for your home. Oh, Pamela said that she does and she loves it. I've thrifted. Actually, I got this at a thrift store years ago. I've never worn it until tonight.
You I remember. Buy clothes and don't wear them.
Hush, Nishita. We talked about that last week.
You said it last week.
I know.
All those tags on your clothes.
You know what, Nishita? That's why you always get kicked off. Bye.
Came back a little too fast. I was going to show you how much I love it through hand gestures and signals.
You always got something to say.
As I do when I'm kicked off, I'll be in the back like.
Just back there being mean. All right. I'm going to bring our special guest on right now because Grace said something that made me say, we're going to go ahead and bring our spotlight sponsor on now. Because when you said save money, I want to know her thought on this whole saving money at thrifting. Are you ready, Miss Amy? Look, I'm gonna give you a second. I'll do your intro. How about that? Or do you want to introduce yourself, Amy? You want to introduce yourself? Yeah, she wants to introduce herself. Mm-hmm.
All right, so I'm Amy Miller. I'm an accredited financial counselor. I am a military spouse. My husband is Air Force. He was in the Marine Corps, got out, and then went Air Force. But we're getting ready to retire this year. But I work with military spouses and military families on gaining control of their money and their budgets, building credit, and just building a strong financial foundation. I say I help you with life, love, and money when you're married to the military.
I love it. I love it. I love it. So, Amy.
Yes, ma'am.
Let me find the right screen I'm looking for. Nope, that's not the one I'm looking for. Let me move you over here. Got you. Grace mentioned saving money.
Mm-hmm.
With thrifting, do we really save? Or do we sometimes overindulge because we think we're saving?
Oh, I think both. I think you can really save. You can find some really good deals. But, I am also guilty of going, oh, it's only $2 and letting the kids, go a little crazy in there and spending too much or bringing home stuff that we really don't need because it was $1 or something like that. But yeah, so I think it's twofold. It's both. You can save some money. I've gotten some really good deals on brand new things that would be twice as much. But I've also seen things that were more expensive sometimes than what you could get them on clearance at a store. So you just have to be smart when you're shopping in a thrift store.
Yeah. Because I think for me, I struggle with shopping at the thrift store because I don't like digging for things.
I got to be in the mood.
Yeah, I'm like, I just want to walk in the store. It's all laid out nice and neat. Get what I need and mosey on. So, Grace,
Yes.
Hold on. I'm clicking over here.
I didn't call my name and then tell me to hold on. So,
well, I thought I was there. But I wasn't.
I'm just kidding.
Give me a second. I'm gonna kick you off too, Grace.
You mean to tell me there ain't no way?
That's pretty cool. I've shown some cool stuff, I think. Today, since we're talking about thrifting, I'm going to tell you ways you can save extra at thrift stores. If you didn't know, people usually think, oh, the prices are cheap. Well, they can be even cheaper. Different stores, depending on where you're located, have different discount days. Here in West Texas, we have Savers and Goodwill being the two main thrift stores. For our Savers, seniors can get discounts on Tuesdays. They have a pretty hefty discount of like 30% or something like that, their total purchase. But military actually gets 15% on Wednesdays. So do your thrifting on Wednesdays if you're going to Savers. Goodwill is a well-known thrift store all across the country. Here in West Texas, they have an every day of the week discount, which is 50%. So say all the blue tags are half off on all week long. Monday is the senior discount. Tuesday is teacher and student discount day. Wednesday is military and first responder discount day. So if you are going to go thrifting, double check the websites or their social media and see which day you can get the most discount depending on what category you fit in. And that's my There Ain't No Way for today.
Thank you, Miss Grace, for that. There ain't no way. Grace has the best tips and hacks. Because look, I will walk into a store. I will be honest, y'all. I usually forget about military discounts. Just thrifting or not, I'll go in. I'm like, oh man, I could have saved 10% or 25%. Because here in Bahrain, there's some places that do 25%.
What's really bad is I write about them and then I still sometimes forget.
It's always good to ask. You never know how much money you can save, especially like big purchases and stuff.
Yeah. So true. All right, Amy, I want to go back to you and talk about your services.
Okay.
Okay, I'm going to pull up your website here.
Okay.
And do-do-do-do-do-do. All right, can y'all see it?
There we go.
Take it away.
Okay, so that kind of says it all, and I kind of gave a summary. So, a little bit of my background. Like I said, I was chosen. I was in banking for many years. I was a banker for about 11 years. Worked in big banks, small banks, and credit unions. I found myself in a credit union where that's where I really learned lending and credit on a military installation, and I loved it. Right, and so that kind of inspired me to keep going and further my education in the financial career sector. I had an investment license at one time, but I learned that watching the stock market every day is really not for me. I prefer to talk to people about budgets and goals and credit, right? So I do a lot of credit counseling for individuals. But like I said, I also spend a little bit of time in military spouse employment. So I like to say, like I said earlier, that I can help military spouses through all of the challenges that come with living this unique life when you're married to the military. So we find ourselves often having to change careers, having to restart, having to pay out money to move and those kind of things. And so those are the things that I coach and counsel people through.
Ladies, do you have any questions for Amy about what she does? And how we can get in touch with her? How can we find you, Amy?
You can find me I'm on Facebook and LinkedIn, Amy Miller AFC. My Facebook page is Mill Spouse Money Coach and credit counselor. And then my website is amymillerafc.com. And my email, of course, too, is amymillerafc@gmail.com. So any of those ways you can reach out to me. I do offer free consultations. So if you just are interested to know more about what I do or how I can help you or talk about your individual situation, we can always hop on a Zoom call and have a quick discussion about where I tell people, where you are and where you want to go, and then we can go from there.
That's awesome. I'm curious of what the most common issue or question you receive is from military families or spouses.
Well, right now, military spouses, there's several reports out that back this up, but military families are housing burdened, right? They're paying too much for housing right now. And about 25% of military households are food insecure. So we talk a lot about budgeting and just gaining control of your money, right? I say that's the first step to building a strong financial foundation is gaining control. You have to know where your money's coming from, where it's going, and what you're spending. So those are the first few things. I do a lot of credit work as well, too, because a lot of military families want to get out of housing and they want to be able to buy their own home. And because that is a way to generational wealth, right, is to own a home. And so we do a lot of credit work around getting ready to be able to pre-qualify for a house.
Awesome.
And Amy is very easy to talk to. I remember our first time that we met via Zoom, we were just chatting. And I'm like, hey, yeah, okay, girl. And I was nervous at first. I was really nervous talking with you at first.
Well, in small world for you and I, turns out she was at a duty station where I grew up. And she recognized my accent right away and said, you must be from South Georgia. And I was like, yeah.
That Georgia twang came out.
It does. As much as I try to fight it, it still comes out.
You can't hide that twang.
No, sure can't.
Even when you're talking about money, that twang comes out. So yes, everyone, make sure you connect with Amy. Check out her website, Facebook, and Instagram.
Yes. Money Coach Amy on Instagram. So, but yeah, definitely reach out. I'm happy to help if I can.
Yes. And tell her that you found her from Mill Spouse Conference.
Yes.
Just saying. All right, we're going to go to a quick commercial break, and then we will be back with some military spouse news minute. I'm trying, y'all. I'm trying to get this up and going. Where's the video? Bear with me. Bear with me. Oh, Grace, fill in for.
I knew it was coming. I was waiting for my
Does
name.
anybody have any other questions for me while we're trying to get that going?
I'm like, viewers, if y'all have any questions for Amy, go ahead and drop them in the comments.
Absolutely.
I don't have any questions, but I will say that something I've learned over time from like financial counselors and stuff, and maybe you'll agree, is having an emergency fund set up, especially as a military family. You know, when we move, things can come up, housing issues, like you mentioned. For us, we just got back from vacation and our washer took a dump, like not working, transmission completely blew. And so out of nowhere, we had to go buy a washer, and washers are expensive.
Yes. They
So
are.
yeah,
And
but
actually, oh, go ahead. Sorry.
no, go ahead. Go ahead.
I was just say, yeah, I do. That's one of the things I work with a lot, because if you look at studies like from Military Family Advisory Network and Blue Star Families, lack of emergency savings funds is a big issue for military families and veteran families. They only, if less than half have substantial emergency savings, and there are studies that show even low-income earners with a $500 emergency savings fund are better off financially and handle emergencies better than some high-income earners without one. So yeah, sometimes, we hear a lot, you got to have 3 months salary and that kind of thing. And that can be challenging and kind of intimidating. And so I always tell my people, let's just start small. Even small amounts add up. So $500, like you said, for that washer emergency, you could cover it, and it cuts down on a lot of the stress, right? So yeah, it's very important that we have one.
Yeah, definitely. It worked out for us having that emergency fund this time. We didn't have to panic so much. I mean, it's still a big chunk of money you have to spend, but we knew where it was going to come from, and so that was a good thing.
My dryer just broke too, and thank goodness my husband's handy, and it cost $100 versus $400.
Yeah.
But yeah, you never know what's going to happen.
You never know. That is so
Definitely.
very true. You never know.
I have a question.
Also, when my dryer broke, I just called our property manager. Like, hey, the dryer's not working. We just had to our situation was just getting through the language barrier, or for me anyway. My husband completely understands, but me, I'm like, what you say? Okay. And my husband's like, Sybil, just nod your head. You're here to fix the dryer. Just nod your head.
What's your question, Nishita?
Okay, Amy, if you had a lump sum of money right now, where would you park it to get the most out of your, money? Like, to make your money make the most, like what's the most interest rates and all that? Like, what vehicle would you use to move that money forward?
Well, first, before I answer that, what I normally ask people is, tell me your goals for the money. Is this money you are going to spend in a year, 2 years, 5 years? What are the goals? So if it's something that you don't need anytime soon and you want to lock it away, the next question would be, what's your risk tolerance? Like, are you, because in the long run, the stock market has always yielded the highest return, right? However, if you don't want to risk it and put it in the stock market, and you just want to park it somewhere for a little while and earn the most that you can, there's some high yield savings accounts out there with some banks that are paying 4% and 5% right now. And then there's certificates of deposits, right? They're comparable. I just put some money in a CD for my 2 kids that was paying 5% for 10 months at a credit union. So I'm a big fan of credit unions, especially local credit unions. So really, it depends on what your goals are, but in general answer would be look at a high yield savings or a CD, certificate of deposit. Yeah.
So Nishita, are you going to put your money in CDs? What you doing?
Oh, I was just thinking of a question asked. It wasn't personal, but I do like to use CDs. I do. I like to use. My aunt was just telling me her credit union had a 3-month CD, which I find interesting, and at 5%.
That's not very long. So if you look at what you actually
that's pretty liquid, yeah. But that's a quick way to make like a little bit of change off of your money that you might need, but you also don't want to touch it.
Right.
Does that make sense? Like, because
Yeah.
sometimes you could get it, maybe you might need it 3 months from now, you might not. You
Yeah.
never know. I just feel like it's just a quick way to make a little bit of money if you're, like you said, your tolerance is low.
Hello.
And the longer CDs I like those. I
Mhm.
like money market accounts. I love the stock market. Now, I am a person who will sit there. But you know what really got me on the stock market is like when my taxes came, I had to account for every transaction that I made. And I was like, oh my gosh. Because I
Yeah.
was swing trading.
Mhm.
And
So
that's a
you
lot
gotta
of
keep good
transactions.
records.
Hmm?
You gotta keep good records.
Yeah, well, the Charles Schwab records for me, but I didn't have at the time it was TD Ameritrade and they merged or they got
Mhm.
acquired or whatever. But I didn't realize that when I was sitting there I thought they just give you like a 1099 or something, some kind of
Mhm.
something, that says they did give me a form that said this is how much you spent, but the IRS was like, yes, and every trade, please. So I had to go through and like itemize all these trades, and I was like, oh my gosh.
All right, we're going to go to this quick commercial and then come back for our military spouse news minute. But we will have Amy back.
Sounds good.
You know what? I think we should do an event, do the
Ooh.
conversation, do an event, and then people can come in and talk directly with you.
I love it. I love it. We'll do it.
Let's all right, commercial. All right, so give it up for USAA. Go ahead. USAA. And if you did not know that USAA has a military spouse hub with all resources geared toward you as a military spouse, make sure you go over to usaa.com/military spouse and you can get all the resources you need for PCSing deployment. You can also find a document for power of attorney. You need your power of attorney. Get one. Even if you think your spouse is never going to deploy, always have a POA. All right, it is Military Spouse News Minute, and I am going to talk about your high school child graduating and going off to college. I'm a little sad because I have one who will be leaving the end of this month. She is going back to the US to college, and we will still be here in Bahrain, but my older daughter is also in college in the US. But anywho, this is important information to know when it comes to your child's health insurance with TRICARE. All right. It is crucial to update their TRICARE health coverage as they're heading off to college. This change does count as a qualifying life event, allowing you to adjust your plan for your child within 90 days, not for yourself, but for your child. So if your child is currently on Prime and they're moving to an isolated location, we figured this out the hard way. Okay. So this is why I'm letting y'all know this. And there's no doctors in the area that take TRICARE Prime. You can switch that child to TRICARE Standard. Also, it's a good idea to change their coverage to their new location because their primary doctor, wherever you are currently stationed, may not do referrals for them. Because most of the time when you have a referral, the doctor needs to see you to refer you out. So when your child moves for college, you can change that student's TRICARE benefit. Okay. And you can keep them on your TRICARE until they are 23 or graduate, whichever is first. Just make sure you update their status in DEERS. You will need a full-time enrollment letter from the college and proof that you provide over half of your child's financial support. Okay. You can't just tell TRICARE that they're in college. There needs to be proof. I have a lot more to say, but that's all I'm going to say. But you can find out the rest in an upcoming blog post. I'll do a blog post about it. All right, ladies. Grace, let's how you doing, girl? How you doing? All right, I've got to tell this story about Leanne. So way back when Meal Spouse Conversations first started, it wasn't always a talk show and events. Leanne was one of our very first supporters. She came out to the event, she baked, she provided some yummy, yummy, yummy goodness. And she was my first Army spouse friend. I didn't know anyone in the Army till I met Leanne. And let's just say they like the Marines. They're like the Marine spouses. Y'all a little different. Just a little bit. All right. So what's the weirdest thing you have found in a thrift store?
Weirdest thing. To be honest, I've been like trying to think about it, and I don't know. I think the weird stuff is like when there's just a bunch of like junk in a baggie and they're trying to sell it for like $5. I don't get it. Like it's like just random. I mean, maybe it's like worth something to someone, probably is, But to me, I'm just like, what? I don't know. It's just like packets of randomness in a bag. And it has a sticker on it and it's like hung on the wall. It's literally like a wall of randomness at our thrift store. And it's just baggies of things. I don't know. Like, I don't know. It reminds me of like, you put all the like condiments that you get from restaurants in like a baggie all together. It's like stuff like that is like hanging on the thing. It's weird. I don't know.
What? Yeah, no. Mm-mm.
Yeah, hard pass.
What about you, Julie?
I'm
What
thinking-
has been your best find? Let me ask you, what has been your best find?
My best find has probably been this tea set that I found. It's a Disney tea set, and it's like the exclusive and 50 were made in the whole world. And we're Disney fans, and so I got it. And it was only like $5. Those things are like $200-$300 because they're collectibles. So yeah. So far, I would say in like this year, that's what I found. There's tons of stuff, but
probably if I found like a book that has just come out, like it's just come out, like in the stores, it would be like $25, but thrift stores
that's
would be like
books
$2.
are expensive.
Yeah.
New
Because
books.
a lot of time, and probably the weirdest thing would probably be, I'm gonna keep it book themed, is like some random book that's like, I don't even know, like the most randomest, weirdest book you can find, and then there's like 50 copies.
What?
Like someone just donated like overstock or something, but
Yeah, I'm like, was it the author? It's like,
Yeah,
let me drop things off.
but it's always like some weird book you've never heard of, or like a chicken soup. They have a lot of chicken. What is that? The chicken
Yeah, the chicken soup books.
soup
Mhm.
control. There are certain books you see a lot of at a thrift
That
store.
is true. That is true.
Or
But you can find some really nice things too. Me and Nishita were talking about that the other day. What treasures have you found, Nishita?
Crystal, and like Julie said, I found an Italian tea set. I still have it. I mean, not Julie. Grace said,
I was like, wait,
but Crystal. Yeah, not you. Grace. Yeah,
For
Crystal.
hood. Sorry, I'm looking at Leanne's comment. For hood.
No.
Look, tell all of your people at Fort Hood about Mill Spouse Conversations. We like to talk. We don't bite. We just like to talk and have a good time.
Yeah. And one time, y'all, I found this Chanel bag. It was locked up and everything, but it was fake.
It was
That's the weirdest thing. It was fake, which I found out later as it started to crumble and the little C twisted upside down. I was like, dang, they lied to me at the thrift store. They lied. It was locked up and everything. I was like, is this real? They were like, yes. You know,
Wait a minute, Nishita. Wait a minute. You didn't check that before you bought it?
girl, I was like in my 20s. Check what? I don't know about checking nothing. I checked the lady at the counter. I was like, is this real? And she was like,
Oh my gosh.
when I got home, I was like, this is a little too cheap to be real, I think. And
Yeah, I
then
was going to say, how much did you pay?
I don't remember, but it was under $50. I should have known right away. But it was really, really old. And you know, sometimes those old ladies, people just give their stuff to the thrift store and they don't even care. They just because sometimes that's the best stuff you find because maybe they had the estate sale, but no one, you know, there's a lot of leftovers. So they just take that and haul it to the thrift stores.
I hate it
So
when like
sometimes you can find some stuff.
if you go to a thrift store and like all the like expensive stuff that like you would hope that like it would be like, oh, I found this at a thrift store, and then like it happens to be like worth a lot, yay! But I only paid $5. But like now it's like they charge like $100 for it because they know it's about.
Yeah.
Yeah, they
Yeah,
started
now
to do their
they're-
I like
research.
finding those treasures, but like it seems like it's harder and harder to find them because the thrift store has already like said, okay,
Yeah.
treasure, we're
Yeah.
Thrift
It's
store
so
prices aren't
cute.
the same anymore.
I was telling Grace the other day, I found this article that made me think of her. It was about bespoke hunters and how they're just, and this bespoke hunter is like someone who goes and they just go through all the thrift stores all the time. They're always online looking for couture thrifting, right? They're looking for vintage items. It's just like a vintage clothing, you know, anything that's vintage. Who, you know, somebody did Zsa Zsa Gabor wear this? Did you know? Did you, like I heard that like some celebrities will get these hunters to go find them things like, oh, John Wayne wore this belt, you know, during this movie, or you know, I don't know. I can't name somebody who like everybody would know, but maybe everybody does know. But like, say, you know, Audrey Hepburn had this hairpiece or whatever, and they're looking for all this stuff, and they're like cleaning out all of the thrift stores of the really high end things that you used to be able to find that was like more vintage. And I'm just like, I really don't care who wore it, but if it's cute and it's vintage, I want it, you know. But I don't care who wore it. And like, you know, I've seen lingerie at the thrift store.
You know, see, I was about to ask that question. Like,
Yeah, that's what I was gonna say is my nope.
Right.
Never.
But sometimes it's in a pack. I've seen racy Halloween costumes there too. Inside the like brand new, but I've never bought it.
yeah, no, I don't even care if the underwear had tags on it. I'm not buying it from you. Because I'm even questionable when I go to a regular department store. I dig to the very bottom. If I go in Victoria's Secret, I want the very bottom. And yes, I'm gonna come home and wash them before I wear them, but it's still just the thought. Someone else's butt touch these underwear.
Their butt touched the pants if you bought them. Underwear is a very thin barrier. So if you bought the pants, hey.
True, but there's still just there's a barrier. Well, we can't say that for that. I'll just hush. I'll just hush. We have a guest because that was about this.
I used to buy shoes from the like sometimes I find some really cute heels, but then I stop because I start feeling weird about my foot being in there.
Yeah, shoes are iffy for me. I buy
Okay,
them for
y'all.
my kids though. Is that bad? I won't buy them for myself, but I buy them for my kids. I just spray them down with microban. Call it
So
good.
y'all are gonna think this is gross. Then
Uh-oh.
I went to a brunch here and met this lady. She had
Oh,
these
I already know.
gorgeous
Your shoe
shoes.
swap. Sybil,
And
that was disgusting. When you posted that, I was like, she's wearing a stranger's shoes. And she posted it on Facebook.
hey, my feet didn't fall off. She looked clean. Her feet looked
I'm sure
clean.
she was. It's just the thought of not knowing.
Now, would you buy furniture from a thrift store?
No, I don't buy furniture from the thrift store.
Yeah,
There's bugs in it. No, well, that's not true. That's not true across the board. I don't know why I said
I
that.
haven't for a while, but
I'll buy like a bookshelf. I wouldn't buy soft furniture.
I don't know how to get the dirt out the corners.
yeah, I don't think I'd buy like
A steam.
couch or
A
something.
steam.
Girl, I don't have one of those. I'm a basic bee. I have basic stuff in my house. What's Grace talking about?
Amy, would you buy furniture from a thrift store?
Well, I've bought like dressers and things like that we've cleaned, but yeah, I probably wouldn't buy a mattress or anything
Oh,
like
no,
that. So
no.
no.
Couches.
But yeah, I bought a vintage vanity table for my daughter not long ago. It was from the 40s. It's one of those big round mirrors, and so we bought that, and then we also bought her like a vintage wardrobe from a thrift shop too. That's got the mirror on the door and stuff. So, because her room's all thrifted. But yeah, no mattresses or pillows or anything like that.
Yeah.
I don't know. I see people all the time. They get them. You know how you have that day you could put your mattresses and stuff out, and I see people getting other people's mattresses all the time on a military base. I'll be like, I take a deep breath. I'm not trying to say it's been like they probably took care of the mattress. It's just I feel like, wow.
Well, see, Nashida, you brought it up. I saw someone giving away underwear on one of the military groups. I was like, wait a minute, why? And they said that they had like several different pictures, but they were like, these have been worn, but I washed them. And I'm like
when you're done with your underwear, you throw it away. That's just there's no other place for it.
Yeah,
no,
I always
Julie,
wash my clothes.
when you
before I
have that
go.
piece of cake left, you let me have it. Don't throw it away. I want it. Post it so I can come get it.
I don't know, y'all. Do y'all wash? I always wash my clothes before I throw them away, and I put them in a sealed bag because people
Before you
dumpster
throw
dive.
them away?
Yeah, because sometimes people are looking for they're looking for stuff like that in the trash.
Well, they can wash it.
Homeless people, come on. Sybil.
I was gonna say people who can wash probably aren't looking
Come
in
on,
the
think about
trash.
that for a second. I know they do have places where they could go wash their clothes, but are you really going to? Like, I always wash my clothes before I send them to the thrift store because I know those clothes are not washed in most thrift stores.
Yeah, I wash before I donate. I don't wash before I throw it away because if I'm throwing something away, it's probably like not usable or
Right.
like super bad.
No, I throw away clothes because I happened to realize one day I saw someone doing it. I was like, are they looking for clothes in there? And the clothes touches all of the garbage. So now if I throw clothes, sometimes I'm not gonna lie to you. Sometimes I don't make it to the thrift store, okay? I just throw it in the trash. I just throw it away, okay? I'm not gonna lie. I'm not gonna stay here and lie to
That's
y'all.
me. That's
What?
me. It
Yeah, I
doesn't
just put them in. I clean them and put them in a bag, and I make sure they're like airtight, and then I throw them away because I didn't know people. It's a lot of things I don't know that's going on, and then I think, wow. Or like sometimes, you could go to the thrift store and buy like blankets and stuff, and then you could wash them, and then give them to the homeless people. Like it's just a lot of ways you can use the thrift store to help other people because everybody can't afford even to shop at the thrift store.
Yeah,
So
that's true. And there's been some things I've seen at the thrift store that I'm like, whoa, this is not thrift store pricing.
yeah, we have a
Like,
thrift store that
this right
Target
here.
donates to at Macy's, so some of that stuff is like from the store, from the stores.
Hmm.
They're giving it to the thrift stores so that people could have access to it who couldn't shop at their stores, and it's just like overstock. I think that's pretty cool.
So the things that we would buy from a thrift store: clothes, books, houseware. Things we would not buy from a thrift store: shoes for yourself. I might buy some shoes. I'm
I
trying
would
to think.
definitely-
Have I
still
ever bought shoes from a
don't
thrift
let me see
store?
a good heel in there.
I'm trying to think.
Don't let me
Have I
see a
ever-
good heel. I'm snatching that. I'm snatching that little insole out. I'm gonna replace it. Then I'm putting them in the sun for a little bit, and I'm wearing it.
Spray some Lysol. Shh.
Mhm.
But yeah,
No,
no furniture, couches, beds, none of that stuff. Do you guys, and then I'm gonna be quiet. Now, my oldest daughter, she would go to the thrift store and buy clothes and then recycle. What is it called? Like when she would rip the clothes up and then sew them, recycle, upcycle. They call it upcycle. What do they call it for clothing? Upcycle.
Yeah, upcycle.
Hmm.
Yeah. And she would do that a lot. Be a lot of cute little outfits. I'm like, oh,
yeah,
would
that
you?
is cute.
She's like, I went thrifting.
Most of the clothes I buy at the thrift store end up back at the thrift store. Because when I leave, I bag them up and take them back to the thrift store. It's
Oh
recycled.
Lord. Okay, we're gonna go ahead and go into Nishida's segment, Street Tea. We are about 15 minutes over, trying to keep it about 30, 45 minutes, but we like to talk. So I'm gonna go to her segment. If you need to leave, you can. My feelings won't be hurt. But what are we talking about,
Hi,
Nishida?
Julie.
What are we talking about?
Well, we are talking about. I saw an article.
Wait a minute. No, just give it a little heads up because I'm gonna do your intro. Just a little
Oh,
teaser.
we're talking about. Well, I'm gonna tie it into our fashion talk, but we're talking about something Doja Cat said the other day about coming to her concerts.
Okay.
Okay, y'all. So, on the topic of fashion and high fashion, so and not just fashion, but the whole entertainment industry. So, the other day I was just browsing through the internet as I do, and I saw an article from that the headline just said Doja Cat said, "Please don't bring your kids to my concert," because I talk about, and it was beeped out. Like, and she's singing about a lot of very racy things, and she's wearing very provocative clothing and kind of doing a lot of provocative things on the stage in those clothes. Recently, she was mentioned as someone who bought some very high-end vintage couture. But would you let your kids go to this concerts? Do you let your kids go to concerts that are like really racy or have provocateurs there, doing things on stage that probably you wouldn't want your kid doing? Like, because I know people who do. I know people who are like, yeah, it's fine, I don't care. Me personally, I just never introduced that kind of stuff to my kid, like I might be in the car listening to whatever when he's not there, but when he was in the car, we were listening to Disney stuff. Like, and he was like, "My mom's so wholesome," but I was not. Which he found out later. But anyway,
Now, I will admit, I don't think I've ever heard Doja Cat, anything from Doja Cat.
Me either.
y'all probably heard it. I just don't know who she is, man.
Maybe.
I mean, but it could be any person that you think, like, dare I say Miley Cyrus? Is she a little racy? She was on that wrecking ball that time. She was accused of being on a pole one time, which she said was for support.
Would I? No, I would not allow my kids to go.
Me either.
And most concerts, well, I guess they don't check ID, but they have the age.
Well, you could. I know people who take their kids. Like sometimes they take them to certain concerts, and then other parents have been like, I don't know, I don't do, but kind of judge them a lot, But I don't know. I just thought, wow, Sybil likes to talk about parenting. We're talking about fashion. That's,
As from a personal standpoint, as a mom, for my kids, I would say no. But if there was someone that I knew, they wanted to take their kids, that's their kids.
Yeah. I don't care what people do with their kids. I was just wondering. Well, I don't want y'all hurting your kids, though.
And I probably wouldn't even, I have a 19-year-old. I wouldn't even want to go to a concert like that with her. And she's legally grown, right? But that would still just be really awkward for me. I
wouldn't take mine either. I think they're already exposed to so much. And I try to shelter them from those things. I want to keep them little, right? And I know they will be exposed at some point through school and friends and that kind of thing. But yeah, probably be awkward to even go with my adult child, which I don't have any adult children yet. But even when they get that age, I don't. It would be awkward.
Yeah, it would be awkward. You're like, okay. And especially if they're singing, right? If they're singing the song and you're like, you're saying these lyrics. Okay. I want to ask you what you know about this.
No, I don't ask questions. I don't do that. I said I was 20. That's a bridge I won't cross.
I would already know the answer, but it would just be like, oh. But as far as the fashion, I look at it as an artist. Even with the music, right? You're an artist. So you're going to dress as your character. Because I feel like any entertainer, they are a character. You step into your character role, and then you step into your life role. Yeah? No? Amy shaking her head? Maybe? No.
No. I think they blur the lines a lot. Like, I think they get wrapped up in the character. They become the character.
Possibly.
Start suffering. You could tell. They start suffering. You're like, oh, this isn't going well for you. So, do you suggest stuff like thrifting to like your to people who come in to seek financial advice?
Yeah, especially, after a PCS, because, we're spending money to PCS. Some of it may not be reimbursed. We may have to be waiting on household goods. So there's usually, sometimes, like I'm Air Force. So, there's always an airman's, not always, but in most places, there's an airman's attic where you can go even borrow things, household goods and that kind of thing. And then, spouses clubs run thrift shops on a lot of installations. So yeah, I recommend, let's save some money,
So Amy, you were before we started, you had mentioned a thrift shop.
Yeah.
Do you want to tell us? Look.
So my spouses club, this is the first spouses club I've ever been involved in. But it's a great spouses club, and we have a thrift shop on base that actually it's full of lots of good stuff. We get some really good stuff in there, right? Especially during PCS season, we take in a lot because everybody's cleaning out closets and that kind of thing. But all of the proceeds from our thrift shop goes to either community activities and things, like we sponsored the cheer team. My kids go to school on installation, so we sponsor the teachers there and the cheer team there, and all the different clubs. But then we also do about $10,000 worth of scholarships for military kids and spouses each year for continuing education. So it's a good cause to thrift with your spouses clubs. I know some other aid societies do thrift shops as well on installations. Like I was just meeting with someone from the Navy Mutual Aid Society, and they do a lot. They have a lot of thrift shops on installations and bases around the country. So that helps support their causes for, when you need aid and can go to them and get grants and loans and things like that. So yeah, I love thrifting. So especially when it's going to a good cause.
Right.
Yeah.
I know we used them the thrift store and when we were in Japan, because that was pretty big. The spouses clubs had thrift stores. I donated a lot. I didn't really shop there. I never really found anything, but when I was in the Navy myself, usually every base has a thrift store for uniforms.
Yes.
And I used to go buy a ton of uniforms because I like to have one for each day and some spares. So I would go, always be in there looking for my size, looking for and so that came in real handy because I was just an E4, E4, E5.
My husband last night was pulled out his dress, his formals, his mess dress or whatever, and he said, "What am I going to do with these when I retire?" And I was like, "You should probably donate them to the airman's attic. Somebody may want them because they can get expensive, right?"
Yeah.
Oh yeah, that's nice.
So, yeah. So me and y'all have one in Fort Hood too, and then get back money each year for military dependent scholarships every year in May. That's nice to know.
Yeah. And we had a neighbor, she would, because some of the officer spouses, their clubs, they have access to different things that maybe other ranking clubs might not have, and they will use they'll be like, "Oh, do you need to borrow some dishes?" They'll go to their club and help others. So sometimes if you need different pots and pans or dishes that you couldn't have access to, you could check around with your ombudsman or with FRG or people like that, and they could hook you up, find people who can help you. So you won't have to go buy all that stuff when your stuff is en route,
Right.
Yeah. When it's because you go buy all new things, and that 2-month wait on your household goods turns into a 2-day wait. Oh, we can deliver. You're like, I just spent $1,000, and you're telling me my stuff is here now.
And one time it was very interesting that when I moved from, because sometimes when I move, I give my furniture away. One, because I don't feel like carrying it around anymore. I've had it for a little bit, maybe a few years or whatever, and I don't want it anymore. And one time when we were leaving Japan, the housing people came in, and he was like, because they come and take your stuff. So I had them leave curtains and different things that we could use because we were going to be there a little while longer after the goods were taken. And he was like, "Oh, what are you going to do with this furniture?" And I say I wouldn't buy a mattress, but I have given away mattresses. I know that sounds so contradictory, but he asked me, he was like, "What are you going to do with all this stuff?" And I was like, I was just going to put it on the curb for people to come get. He was like, no, I got a family who's here and they need a couch and they need this and they need that. Do you mind if you leave it here and I'll just take it? And I was like, be my guest. And so I thought that was interesting that sometimes the housing people will have things that they'll talk to you about. Yeah.
Yeah.
So
Nishita, let me see that cup. Did you get that at a thrift store?
yeah, I got it at my I got it at Simple Store. No, I got it on our online shop. Our online shop. See, it's just Milk Smells Conversations. It's so cute.
Oh, I love it.
Don't look at my nails, y'all.
We have merch, y'all.
We got merch. Do you have merch, Amy?
I do not. Maybe I need to get some. Right. That's gonna. I'm gonna add to the list.
Because people love those. Well, I don't know about people, not me. I love those lanyards and I love those pins. Every time I go to my bank, I'm like, can I have one of these?
Pen. Yeah, people love pens and sticky notes. Like I have sticky notes from other people, and so yeah, eventually,
and notepads, like the longer notepads.
I love.
Yes.
Yeah, I love notepads.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I take the pins. We actually, Nishita, you didn't know. Oh,
And these kind of cups, y'all,
someone
these can keep your ice in there forever.
Mm-hmm.
yes, someone took my Milk Spouse Conversations pen. One of my kids, because we have pins too,
Oh wow.
Awesome.
I need to get one of those.
and mugs. Or this isn't a Milk Spouse Conversations mug, but we do have mugs too.
So do you do private, like, or do you have your own practice as well? Did
Me?
you say that?
Yeah. So I do private, and then I so one-on-one we can schedule a time, and depending on what your needs are, usually we start off with a consultation call, and then we'll book an hour where we just that's our get to know each other session, and we just talk about your pain points and those kind of things. And then I'll normally assign some homework, like, okay, we've got to gather some information, and we got to really do an analysis and know where you truly stand, because a lot of times people think they know what's going on with their finances, but then when they really look at it, it's like, oh no, this is really going on. And so then we kind of go from there. Most of my clients we meet monthly, some we meet more often, but usually we'll have a session, we'll talk about things, then we'll assign some action plans, create goals, some action plans to go with those goals, and then I'm here to guide you along the way, and we talk about the steps along the way. Yeah,
That's good.
yeah.
And when you said about people really not knowing their finances, I just think back to when we were young, in our young life. I'm like, oh yeah, I know our income and I know our bills. Like, I got this. Really did not know.
Right.
Did not know what bills were coming and going.
Right. I see that a lot with subscriptions. People don't know what subscriptions they're paying for, like the Netflix, the Hulu, and all those are great. But if you have too many, that's not a good thing. Or if you don't know what's hitting you, that's not a good thing. And then the second thing that I find people don't really know or realize is how much they're spending on eating out. Eating out is a big thing. And, I just had a client that she was like, I can't afford a new car. And I'm not one to say, don't buy the coffee and you can do other things. I'm not one to say that. However, sometimes you do have to look at what you're spending on those things. And I had one who she worked next door to a fast food restaurant, and she didn't realize she was spending about $400 a month just walking over there, getting a Coke or a milkshake or fries or, a biscuit in the morning or whatever. And she just had no idea that that's what she was really spending, just going, just walking across, during her work day. And I'm like, okay, there's a car payment, right?
Yeah.
Think about it. Mm-hmm.
See, Amy, I feel attacked.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Because I would order this drink every day, but I would have it delivered by Taliban.
Oh, yeah.
Every day.
That adds up.
And it was my child
Mm-hmm.
who said, Mommy, maybe if you didn't order that mint lemon drink every day. I was like, first of all, don't worry about what I'm ordering every day.
Right. Mm-hmm.
But she said it because she had asked me for some money. And I was like, I told her I didn't have it. And I didn't have cash on me.
Mm-hmm.
And she's like, oh, well, can you just transfer the money to my bank account? And I'm like, no, I don't have any money to transfer to you. You need to go talk to your father because she has an allowance. I was like, you spent your allowance. She's like, Well, Mommy, you would have some money to transfer to me if you were not ordering from Talabat every day. I'm like, how do you know? Because you're supposed to be you are at school. How do you know what I'm spending my money on?
Mhm.
Because I was throwing the cup in the trash.
So yeah, no, they know, they see. Mhm.
Yeah, I was like, okay, whatever. Like, here's your money. Here's you some money. Don't tell Daddy that I'm ordering Talabat every day. Sorry, dear. Look, I just told on myself.
Mhm.
If he watches this, he's gonna be like, so that's what you were doing.
Well, and kids look and they see that not only your habits, but your money habits with that too, right? And they pick up, they follow suit, and that's where they learn their money habits. So
Yes.
yeah.
And the whole swiping, right? Because the kids see us swipe the card.
Happen.
And now that my girls are older, they understand. But at first they were like, well, you have money. Just
Mhm.
swipe the card. And it's like, well, no, you have to have money in the bank. Or if it's on the credit card, you have to pay that credit card bill. It's not just free swipes. Oh, well, you just swipe every time you go to the store, every time we go out to eat. So I'm like, all right, you know what? Y'all need cash to learn this lesson.
Mhm. Mhm. When it's gone, it's gone. Mhm.
Oh, yeah.
Mhm.
Yes, it is. Well, Amy, tell the viewers one last time where they can find you, and all of her information will be sent to everyone. You will, if you are part of our newsletter, you will get her information.
Wonderful. Well, you can find me online at amymillerafc.com, on Instagram as Money Coach Amy, on Facebook as Amy Miller, Millspouse Money Coach. And then my email, of course, if you want to talk to me directly and set up a time to connect, you can reach me at amymillerafc, as an accredited financial counselor, amymillerafc@gmail.com. I've enjoyed being with you guys today. It's been a great conversation.
Great having you. It's nice to meet you too.
Look, I'm trying to type this in here. I can't see. I'm trying to type it in the thing, but I cannot see the screen.
Uh-oh.
Where
Need
your
my
glasses at?
Hush. Leave me alone about my glasses. Amy, tell her to leave me alone. I don't need to wear my glasses.
I have bad eyes, so I can't see anything without mine. So I feel your pain.
Look, I put mine on. I turn into the nerd emoji.
But thank you so much, Amy, for joining us. And thank you for
having me.
being our very first Spotlight sponsor.
Well, thanks for having me. I've enjoyed it.
Hey, we're real, relatable, and raw up in here. All right, you've got to dance. You got to jam out.
Oh, goodness.
But I can put an end to your fears. Let me show you a place where you gon' wanna move your feet until they start to bleed. DJ, take it away. Tonight is all for you and me. So baby, spin and let the music begin. I know you feel it within. So go ahead and just spin for me. Won't you spin? Don't let the doubt in you win. I know you feel it within. So go ahead and just spin for me. Won't you? I know it's hard for you to give it a try, but you are not alone. I'm here with you. I think you owe it to this beautiful night to lose all your control. Do it for you. Let me shy, but I can put an end to your fears. Let me show you a place.
If you enjoyed this episode, give us some thumbs up, some hearts. Say yeah. Hey, we're real. We're relatable. Our conversations are like old friends sitting on the couch having a conversation. We veer to the left, veer to the right, but we always come back to the middle. Right,
Yeah.
Nashida?
Yes, ma'am.
Even if I have to kick Nashida off.
Yeah, it's kicking me off. Yeah. I'm gonna run away.
You ain't got to run. You can walk.
You gonna kick me off? I'm running away. I'm gonna get my backpack. I'm gonna run away.
You look. You. I'll
Um,
take.
I'll put my hat on, get my backpack, and I'm running away. So see that? So cute, ain't that cute? Cause where's it go? Cause I'm lucky.
Did you get that at a thrift shop?
No. You see how white it is? You know, I get that at the thrift shop.
Hey, I.
No, that would have been like a super duper find if I got that at the thrift shop.
Hey,
I'm like,
But we will be back next week, same time, same place. It will be May 7th, 12 noon Eastern time. What are we talking about next week?
I don't know.
What do y'all want to talk about? What do y'all want to hear us discuss? Put in the comments. We'll talk about it. We ain't scared. We talk about any and everything. And I will let y'all know this right now, too. We are going to have our virtual event on hold on, I'm looking at my dates. When's graduation?
I don't have children anymore.
We're gonna have a virtual event on the 23rd. It's a Thursday. You gonna be here, Nashida? You gonna be there? Our
Yeah.
virtual events are via Zoom. Okay, they're not streamed live, and we have a good time. You get to talk with us. We just don't talk at you. You talk with us. That's where the real look.
Barely
like-
hold it together on the show.
I'm like, oh gosh, what's Nashida gonna say now?
Me? Yeah, you're right, but still.
Yeah, because I was waiting on you to say something more about
What?
your street tea.
Oh, about Doja? She was just like, don't be bringing your kids to my shows, please. She has some words to talk about because she's talking about, lots of things on there. But I just found it interesting because the celebrities are always walking that line. Some of them, they're either trying to transition from being wholesome to being out in the world, or they're like trying to walk that line between being, provocative, but not to go too far. And then the other ones are they just out there going as far as they can. They're just going as far as they can.
But you know what? You can't be mad at her. She said
No,
what she said.
She's very
Hey,
honest.
not music. Don't bring your kids here. That's if you bring them, that's you. But I'm gonna ask you this. Did you hear the diss track with Kendrick Lamar about oh my gosh, I forgot his name. Kendrick
Drake?
Lamar did this track. Who?
Was it Drake?
Drake, yes.
Drake started it. But Drake is dangerous, man. Like everyone's like, Drake's washed up. He came out with that song Push Ups. and people were like, because they were saying that Meg Thee Stallion had dissed him when she said that dudes be out here talking about women BBLs and they walk around with the same scars. Like, oh, she talking about Drake. I was like, dang, why they hit him over the head like that?
I don't know. All I know is I woke up this morning to my child. She had sent all these messages about the diss track. And I was like, I'm trying to look at my phone this morning and I'm thinking to myself, like, girl.
Yeah, I mean, I like some of Kendrick Lamar stuff, but he's so, oh my gosh, I just don't enjoy him as an entertainer. Some of his music is okay, but I just don't, it's not my favorite. So, I don't really, so when I saw the diss track, I didn't even go listen to his. I had already listened to Drake's song. I've been playing it at the gym, but I didn't see what did Kendra have to say back.
I don't know.
Well, what she tell you, girl? What she tell
I
you?
know she was just sending messages about, did you hear the diss track? Oh, it was hot. Oh, I'm like, okay.
Oh, is it hot though?
I don't know.
Is it
I haven't
hot?
listened. I haven't
Oh
listened. That's why I
no.
asked you. You are our street tea spiller.
I know, but sometimes I'm biased. Biased about the tea.
That's okay.
Girl, I'm over here listening to whole, I don't know. You know, and ever since that lady Risa Tisa came out with her story, people have been trying to mimic her, and everybody's not a good storyteller. So I don't really listen to. Sometimes I'm like, y'all boring. It's the reason why we listen to her, because she's told to. It was the way she was telling the story, and she's a good storyteller. But the people behind her were kind of meh. And so this lady got on there yesterday. She was talking about how she got these veneers done from a nail tech. And I was like,
Oh,
yes, she had got her veneers done from a girl who was like a nail tech. And the girl said, let me tell you what the girl said. The girl said, getting veneers is like, you know, when you get acrylic on your nails. No, mama, it is not.
what?
That is not what that is like. It's in your mouth. Like, and anyways, if you go to the wrong nail tech and they give you that, you know, they cut your cuticles and they mess around and give you some like dirty utensil stuff, you could get an infection from that too, though. But your mouth. And then something about the girl's crown. She gave her. She's not. The girl is not a dentist. She's not a dental technician. She was a nail technician. And the lady paid her $3,500 for these veneers. First of all,
What?
listen, that's like getting a BBL from like the the lady in, you know, in her house. You know what I'm saying? So she's like, I could do this because I don't need a license.
Okay.
No,
My
see.
mouth is hurting.
Girl, they had a whole story. This lady was talking about how they're trying to get the veneers out there. She put the veneers, she took a picture. They did look okay, but you could kind of tell like she gave her a Steve Harvey mouth. She gave her that she walked around looking like Steve Harvey in the mouth.
You said Steve Harvey mouth. I like Steve. Leave Steve alone. Leave.
Looking like Steve Harvey in the mouth, and you could tell, but she was smiling and everything, like, and so she said that they were too big. They were too big. She's like, "Are you gonna shave these down?" And the girl would never shave them down. So then she had to give her partials, and I'm like, "Sis, you need listen. How you end up with this girl giving you partials? You need to go to like the dentist." And I
Yeah.
guess that they got stuck, and she's like, "Oh no, I think that the glue is gonna get stuck in your mouth. I think they're gonna get stuck in your mouth." And they did get stuck in her mouth, and they were in there trying to yank the stuff out. She ended up yanking the veneers out of her mouth because her mouth started hurting, and like I guess she didn't shave down the insides right. So the piece was touching the back of her.
Oh,
And then she couldn't get them out. Like she could, they were the kind you pop in and pop out, and she couldn't get them out. She couldn't get them off her teeth, and so now she's just on a rampage against the girl. Wouldn't give her money back, and the girl made a whole other response, like clap back, like, "Listen, I don't care," because the lady who got the veneers was like, "I wanted half my money back, only half of the $3,500."
only half. Wait,
Yeah, because I guess she said she had good customer service, and she right, she had good
what?
customer service, and she had got the service, so she wanted half her money back because she ended up in the ER. She ended up having to get antibiotics because she got an infection, and the girl was like, "Nobody gets an infection in like a few hours, sis. Yes, you
Uh,
could. If you have an aggressive immune system, Look, I have pictures that I had a reaction at the facial place. I know it can happen like it could just
Yeah, they can have click with the quickness.
and so she said less than 8 hours. She had been to the ER. Cuz her when they finally got them out, she said her sister was there and she was like thought they had pulled some of her teeth out. Your teeth are in your bones, sis. You have some
Oh,
issues if your teeth came out because that means you had some dental work you needed to get done before you even went over there. That's probably why you
oh,
went over there because the dentist was like, "Listen, we're gonna have to do some work on these teeth first."
yeah, we're not doing
He
it
probably had
even
about
more
10 G's
until
worth
you
of
get this
work.
work done. And she gonna try to go.
Yeah, this, so the girl is on the internet and she's from Baltimore. I feel bad for Baltimore because they be getting a bad rap. People just I'll be
Be
represent
more,
Baltimore.
be more.
Be more. And she said, first of all, I wasn't gonna give her money back because she paid for a service and she got the service and she said she liked it. She'd give her 1 penny back. And the girl said, I don't care if you don't give me my money back. She said, I'm gonna get my money back. And if I don't get my money back, you're not gonna make 1 more penny. You're not gonna make 1 more cent. I'm gonna make sure you make nothing else because I'm gonna be everywhere telling everybody about you. So the technician, the nail tech, she tried to change her name, but it ended up being another person's name, and she had to change it again. I'm like, sis, you on
Oh,
the run? You said you didn't do nothing wrong. What did you do?
right. So why are you changing your name?
Why you hiding now? Why you on the run? But she came out and she made a response and everything. The response didn't even sound right. Like, I don't need a license. Then she's like, I did try to shave down the veneers. I thought you said if you don't shave, if you don't do all this stuff. It was just a hot mess. I was there for every minute of it because the girl was just they
He
both
like,
were good talkers on the internet. And people
he
were
was
like,
like,
yeah, she's from Baltimore because this happened in Florida. And they were like, people start telling her, yeah, this chick is from Baltimore. And she was up here giving bad service, doing da da da. So whatever she did up there, she left there and went to Florida to set up shop. But I never seen nobody. That's like people when they would get the BBLs and they're like, oh, Cardi says she got like her BBL sometimes from like unlicensed people.
no, mm-mm, mm-mm. Now I need you to have training. You need to have gone to school. Sorry, my husband's texting. It popped up on my computer. I'm like, um,
Right. Dental training is long. That's a long process. Like you don't know anything about biology, anything, not even a basic biology class. Girl,
basic.
you got a nail technician
Can
certification
you even tell me
license.
my teeth, like the difference? Like,
The numbers, she probably like the left one, in the back with the sharp one.
right.
And it's not funny that it happened to the lady. It's just the whole debacle is just crazy. I don't
That's
know.
See, all right. You gotta stay on top of that and let us know.
Well, you gotta tell us about now I have to go, I guess, listen to this Kendrick Lamar.
Now
It's
you are our street tea conversation starter. So let us know. And you need to start dropping some of that street tea in our group. That's what you need to do.
moi.
Yo, if you have not joined our Facebook group, Meal Spouse Conversations, come on over and do so. Because look, ooh,
What you turned into that? Oh,
that was lightning. And I'm waiting for the thunder.
if it was thunder, wouldn't you hear it before you saw the lightning? Oh no, it takes a minute for it to travel, huh?
Yes, the lightning, and then depending
Then
on
the
how
thunder.
close the storm is, yeah, but it just thundered. But our Facebook group, it is called Meal Spouse Conversations, but we talk about life because as a military spouse, we do talk about other things. Because I've had people say, oh, as a military spouse, do you only talk about military things? Is that what you talk about with your friends? I'm like, nah, man, we rarely talk about, we do talk about, here at Conversations, we do have military focused conversations. But when I talk to my friends, we talk about our day to day life. What you doing? Where you going?
I'm mostly ranting about something I saw. And let me tell you what I heard today. Let me tell you what I saw. Something crazy or some craziness that I saw. Did you know that the moon had some crater on it? You know what? I'm just always out here. Just
Ooh, that
You
lightning,
scared of lightning? You scared? You better turn your
girl.
lights.
You know when it thunderstorms, you gotta
I
turn
like
off
it. I go to
the
sleep.
lights,
Be in the
the
bed like,
TV. You gotta sit and be quiet. You
what? Oh, my grandma used to say that. Turn on them lights off. We'd be on the verge of getting in the tub, I think. She was like, it's just some thunder and lightning. She's like, shh, shut up.
yeah.
Shut up. We gotta make it up. She just
I'm like, don't speak,
Yeah.
don't move. You're like, oh, you're moving. Oh, okay. Sorry.
I've been making fun of her from a distance, not up close. Get her
Right.
hands on me.
Right. You might get slapped,
Like,
backhanded.
yes, I know. Like from a distance, though, I'll be over there.
From a distance, the world looks blue and
Yeah.
green.
Which
But anywho, folks,
Anyways,
we're gonna
yeah.
go for real. But what I want to say is, if you are not part of our Facebook group, come on over, join us. We have fun over there. We talk about life.
What's that?
Nothing.
Who's
I'm
that
just-
silence? You still you better go so you can go get under the covers or something. So you could go sit in the dark. You gonna turn
No, because so my bedroom window, it overlooks the water, and early this morning it started storming. And the flash of light, oh my gosh, I thought it looked like there will be any storm. Oh, my watch scared me.
You're on edge.
Oh my gosh.
Got you on edge, I see.
But the lightning, it was dancing on the water this morning.
Was it? Oh my gosh, I would have been just staring at that.
No, it scared me.
You were scared of.
Like, I saw the flash and I was
Oh no, weather.
like,
What did Layla, the dog, what's her name?
Tiana.
Tiana. Why I call her Layla, girl? I couldn't get it. I was like, why is that in my head? Layla. Where's that from? But yeah, Tiana, Princess Tiana. What'd she do?
Girl, she was balled up in her chair. She was balled up like this, sleeping. Like, nope.
My dog's 15 and she lost her peripheral hearing, the back
Oh,
hearing. So she used to be so, did I tell you this already? She used to be so scared of the when the fire alarm needs the battery. Now she just be like,
smoke detector.
she can't hear it. A little boop, boop, boop. Oh gosh, she gonna poop somewhere. She gonna.
Wait a minute. I gotta say this, Sheila. I gotta say this. Please tell me you were not that family.
No,
That
no,
the
no,
smoke detector just
no,
beeping. Just
no. I couldn't if I wanted to. She just poop all over the house. It makes her poop like every time. She's like, it just scares the poop out of her. She's like, you gotta let her out. You gotta let her out. She's gonna release them poops. She's not gonna hold that in. She's scared. But now she can't hear it no more. She's
she
just
can't
like
hear it. She's like,
she's just sitting there like, but before she'd be shaking and everything. Nah, we couldn't even if we wanted to. But the thunder and the lightning, my other dog was scared, but she was never scared of it. So she got a little older, and then she might be like, what's that? But now she can't hear it. She doesn't care. She don't care about nothing.
Tiana's scared of everything, though.
Yeah. Is she?
Everything.
Everything.
I'm
No,
like,
my dog can hear though. She can hear all the way here. It's just that back of her. She can't hear.
I'm like, Tiana, you are anxious and you are not helping my anxiety. Like, come on.
She's
we gotta
neurotic.
work
You have a
together.
neurotic
So we're both just over here like,
dog. Y'all like you be doing Shaggy. Y'all holding each other.
this is just on a day-to-day, just day-to-day. I'm like,
Y'all like Scooby and Shaggy every day. They was always scared and always scared of holding each other and running.
yes.
Oh,
I'm
I'm
like,
gonna have to watch that today. I'm gonna have to go watch that.
Scooby Dooby Doo, where are you? All right, I'm going to bed.
Go to bed. I'm going
Almost-
to do something like maybe get my nails done because this is the third show I had these
Showing them ugly nails. You want to see my toes?
No. Yeah.
I need to get my feet done. My toes are jacked.
No, I don't want to see your ugly toes. No, then why are you gonna be like, no holes in the socks? Oh, okay. What's wrong?
No. The nail polish is chipped.
Well, you can't really see
And
that.
this toenail, it broke.
You just gonna put your whole
Like,
foot in the
it's-
screen.
I know. You
Yeah,
told me
this little
last time.
piggy.
Last time you was
the
like,
market.
don't be putting your feet up in the camera.
And this little piggy stay home.
This little piggy had rusty.
This little piggy chipped off.
Broke his nail. Oh my gosh, girl.
All right. We're gone for real,
Yes,
folks. Thanks for tuning
I
in.
know.
Always a
Take
good
care.
time. Why you
I saw somebody do that and I thought, oh, that's how I'm gonna make my hearts now. She's like that. And she was like, like that. And I was like, I'm gonna do that. I'm gonna get it too. I'm gonna make it look right one day.
You see the way I'm looking at you, right? Wait a minute. You want to know who just came on?
Who?
Robert.
Robert, big whoop. Well, we about to go now.
I know, all tardy. Come on, Big Rob.
He wasn't tired. He didn't even make it. He barely made it. He barely
Well,
made it.
because he wouldn't have made it if we would have ended the show at our
When we
regular
were supposed to.
All right, it's all right. Next time.
Well,
Next
hi and bye to everybody and Rob.
Yes. And Jessica, she just hopped on.
Oh, hi, Jessica.
Watch the replay, folks. Watch the replay. Show us some love. Go ahead while you're watching this. Give us a thumbs up, a heart, say hello, anything. But go back to the beginning and watch where we talked about thrifting.
We did actually talk about thrifting.
We did.
Everybody was here and we all talked about thrifting. And Amy was here. And you guys have to go back and watch it so you can know. She dropped some good financial tips. We had some good thrift stories talking. Go back and watch it.
Okay. Oh, I have it. Oh, wait a minute. I gotta say this about the weirdest things that I have seen in a thrift store. Now, I did not see this personally, but I did see this post on Facebook. And I would have bought it, but I thought it was a candle holder, like a rose candle holder. But apparently it wasn't a rose. It wasn't a candle holder. And it was for sale at Goodwill. They were like, this was at Goodwill. and it was 2 of them. I'm like, I would have bought it. I would have been like, oh, it's a candle holder, but it wasn't.
And you would have put it on your
It would have been on my table like,
Hey Robert.
yeah. I was like, oh man.
You would have put it on your coffee table.
Wow.
And people be like, oh my gosh, it's such an interesting centerpiece. Where'd you get it? And that one friend would come over and be like, come on, kids, let's get out of here. This is what kind of house is this?
I'd be like, what? What's wrong? What?
Somebody would be calling your husband like, do you know what I saw at your house? I don't appreciate this. Put a complaint in. And you're over there like, they didn't like my candle holder. Crazy
My
girl.
feelings would get hurt. I'd be like, they didn't like my candle holder.
What would have been even worse is if you had put a candle in it.
Right? No, I would have been like, I couldn't find a candle to fit.
It was a stupid candle holder. It didn't even hold the candles.
I saw that on a Facebook post. I
What
didn't
if,
understand.
what if you just kept it and then the lights went out and one day you're like, oh, I got a candle. And your husband was like, he would have had to think about that for a minute, like, what'd you say that is? You're over there, la la la, candle holder. It's even got a button on it and everything. You just got the candle out.
I
You got the
would.
candle out, and then you're like, he probably like, did you turn it on? Yeah, I can't get the candle in there. I think it's just to take the candle out. You're so crazy, girl.
No,
You said I would have bought that. It was a set.
when I saw it, I was like, oh man.
I
And I was
said,
reading the comments. I'm like, why are people laughing about this? I had to read all the comments. I'm like, oh, okay. Dang, I would have bought it. I'd have bought both of them. I'm like,
It's a set. I hate when I see a meme or like a post and I don't know what they're talking about. I hate it. I always like, I have to run to the comments to see what they're talking. Always there's somebody down there like, just in case you don't know, for those of you who don't
yes.
me.
And those are the comments that I'm looking for because I need
I'm
someone.
scrolling like, come on, somebody tell me what I'm looking at. And then a hero comes along in the comments, and I'm like, thank you. Oh, it's like,
Got it now. Okay. Yes, girl,
Anyway.
yes. Okay, we go for real now.
yes.
Good night, everyone.
Good night, good
Or
night.
good morning, whatever time it is.